Don't my quilty friends like me? Why didn't they tell me about this cool tool that would make putting basting pins in my quilt sandwiches so much easier? I'm going to forgive them, and I'm going to share this amazing tool with you. When it's time to put the layers of your quilt together or create a quilt sandwich, which has your backing, your batting, and your topper, then you need to decide how you're going to put it all together. Using pins is one of the most traditional ways. You can also use a temporary spray basting adhesive or even glue. I like to use pins because you just use them over and over again. Old school, this is how you do it. You put your pin in, put your finger under there, and you push that closed. Now, when you're dealing with all these pins, your fingers start to hurt at the end. In comes this amazing tool. This is a pin basting tool or a pin closer, and I got this one from Savina. There will be a link below the video if you want to grab one yourself. So I'm gonna just tilt the pin up a teeny bit. I'm going to put the pin into that groove. You can see it stays in there. And then all I do is I push, and it is that easy. You're not using this finger at all. This is going to make things faster. Also great if you have any kind of arthritis in your hands or want to make sure you don't get it from all these quilting things. So what I do is I put all the pins in my topper and leave them open, and then I can just move around and quickly close them with this tool. This is one of my favorite new quilt finishing products. Worth every penny because just like the pins, I'm gonna be able to use it over and over again. After you pin the 3 layers of your quilt together, the very first thing you're going to do is baste around the outside edges so that there are no big shifts in where your topper is in relation to the batting and the backing. And to do that, you're going to set your stitch length as long as you can. I have an LCD screen, and the normal stitch length is 2.4. So I can just push this plus button, or there's also a dial on my machine, and I'm going to do it until it stops. 5 is my longest stitch length, so that is what I'm going to be using to baste. When you're basting, you want to go really close to the edge so that those stitches will be covered when you put your binding on, and you won't have to worry about pulling them out. So when I add my binding, this is where my foot is going to be and where my needle is going to be, 1/4 inch from the edge of the fabric, and we will have trimmed this before we sew that on. When we do the basting, we want to be closer to the edge than that. So what I normally do is I just make it so that the edge of the fabric runs in the center of this foot. For the basting step and any of the quilting, honestly, you want to be using a walking foot because you have the backing fabric, batting, and the topper, so it is a little bit thick. Some batting is even thicker than this. And having a walking foot helps your machine move this top layer as well as the bottom, so you're not going to have problems with buckling. And so I'm just going to sew all the way around. You can use any color thread you want. If you've got a color you think, why did I buy that? I'm never going to use it again. It's a great color to use for basting.